Hello,
Yep.
everyone. So, today we are going to have with us our alumni Karsimran, who is a data scientist right now placed at Sabudh Tetras. He will be telling us about all the pros and cons of using data for using that in advanced applications of your ML and AI, and how the students who are doing their B.TECH, how they can use their skills to get into Sabudh Tatras as data scientist or any other company if they are interested in towards this side, if they are inclined towards this side. So I welcome you, Karsimran, and you can start the session, please.
Sure. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Karsimran. I've been working as a data scientist for more than 5 years now in a said company, Sabudh Data and Tetras Data. Um, so I began my journey at Sabudh Foundation as an intern there, and as I kept working as an intern, I get an opportunity from Tetras to be a data scientist full time, and that's when I started my journey. You know. Um, I had an history of programming previously. I was programming since seventh class of mine, and I think that was the basic foundation that led me to this path. Other than that, I had some background in electronics core as well. Mainly, I had interests in embedded systems and circuit design, but essentially that actually also helped me in certain projects at Tatras, because data science and IoT actually goes hand in hand in certain scenarios. So yeah, that was my brief introduction, ma'am. um, Please follow up with some questions if you have. Hello, Amrit, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, I just got muted. So actually, I
Hello, worries.
wanted to ask Karsimran from you that there are two types of students. One who are always interested in software skills, that is C, C++, Python, and Java, and the other half is always going for the projects that they make using the hardwares
Hmm.
like and microcontrollers like Arduino, and they always go with such type of projects in which they embed the microcontroller and the embedded
Right,
applications they go on. So what do
right.
you suggest for those students who are there with Arduino and who also wants to go with something like an ML and all?
I see. So I think there is potential in both of the cases, but it really comes down to what your interests are and what opportunities you are getting. I think for electronics and communication students, it's a very good place to be, because you get an exposure of core electronic subjects. Because if you see from CSC point of view, you don't really get that kind of exposure that you get in EC. So one thing is that it's good to have kind of knowledge if you are really inclined towards software. But at the end of the day, it really boils down to what your initial interests are. If you have already worked for before your graduation in software, if you are really keen towards that field, just work towards that. And but if you find electronics, if you don't find software before your second year, third year, or any of these years, and you just started with the electronics in your graduation, that you just keep on going with that only. End point पे जाके हम we don't suggest you to actually go into software or electronics and switch your fields. That's one thing. Another thing is if you go with the software, there is very high ceiling of what you can actually earn, right? So big software companies, they really give you big money as well, but there are not many established MNCs for ECs, until and unless you are really good at your basics. Um, uh, but in those scenarios as well, the ceiling of getting you high paying job is very high, because which means that if you are a software engineer, you can easily make 1 crore LPA in some startup or in some MNC if you are really good at it. But that's not the case with embedded systems until and unless you're really in a very niche category, which is very rare.
Okay, so Karsimran, I would like to ask you that right now the final year students are going to start with the placement process. So, what do you
Right.
suggest to them that how they should start preparing for it?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. If you are going from a software point of view, I really would like you to focus on the core subjects like DSA, algorithms, and things like that. Because that's what freshers are really questioned about. DSAs, algorithms, the implementation of all these things, your competitive coding skills. Um, Other than that, you should really focus on just one language. Or if you are really into learning languages and you're interested in that, I would suggest you learn one dynamic language and one static language. So dynamic languages like Python are like Python, and static languages are like C++, Java, Rust, so on and so on. So if you're interested, learn to. That's the sweet spot, but don't learn more than that. That will be sufficient.
Okay, Karsimran, let's say that some of our students want to join Sabudh Tatras. So, what do you
Right.
suggest them that how they should start preparing to be into your this great company?
As far as I remember, the process was pretty simple as of last year, last year or last year. We just really care about how much driven you are in your field, and and what your we just take an entry level aptitude test just to select students. And I think we put a little bit focus on your academics also. But at the end of the day, if you are interested and you are driven, we'll accept you with a small amount of entrance tests.
So, can you just give us some overview about that test so that the students can prepare for that? Means in aptitude, or they should go with biomedical and NNs, and what they should go for? And can you just tell that how many slots are there? Because I was just going through the site of Sabudh Tatras. So, it's not only data scientists they take into
Right.
many categories.
Right, right. So I think we have IoTs. I think we have biomedicals, as you said, and we also have data science and deep learning as well. Um, the process actually changes with each and every batch. So, but essentially, it is just an aptitude test for a very medium level, I say, and aptitude test that you will find in any kind of exam. For example, PCS. PCS or GATE or something like that. Um, there's no such formula for cracking that exam. You just have to keep on practicing, and once you get the hang of it, you can just give a shot to it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Karsimran, I also there was a lot of doubts in students' mind that where they should get their internships. For 6 months, as well as the third year students, they always want to know that where they should apply for the internships for 2 months, because that is the main thing on which everything is based.
Right, right. So 2 months internship is really well, वहीं पे हम फाउंडेशन बनाते हैं पूरे अपनी करियर की, because that should be the thing that you want to try it out. For example, you see your seniors are actually very successful in coding. That's why you want to pursue that field. So okay, you reach out to many companies for to apply for internship, and you get your internship based upon some previous work you have done. If you have not done previous work, it gets really tricky to get an internship for 2 months as well. But you take your application, you apply to many companies, and in the end, you will get an internship offer from them. There are many companies that give you an internship, from Microsoft to HCL, and there are
Toilet
some
and
and there are some training institutes as well. that can help you develop the skills if you haven't done till now. But if you have worked previously in second year on some languages, on some coding skills, you can apply for a job for internship for 2 months to these companies, and they'll happily take you. There are many companies in Mohali as well that will do it for you happily. And I really would like you to encourage to that.
Okay, Karsimran, can you suggest some online apps that are going to be helpful to your juniors so that they can prepare for their exams also, and means
Mhm.
entrance exams to all these interviews when they go for their first round of
Sure,
interviews.
sure, sure. So if you're going for a pure software interview, I would really suggest you try Lead Code or HackerRank. Lead Code is a little bit more premium and a little bit more has a bit more of a worldwide kind of an audience. So its problems are actually to that level. But HackerRank is also a good start for you guys. There are many sections in HackerRank and LeetCode that you may want to try it out. For example, algorithms, trying out different algorithms, trying out competitive programming, questions, trying out DSAs. Go for these two sites, and you always have things like geeks for geeks, Stack Overflows, and so on to get your doubts cleared. I would suggest use ChatGPT as well. I know it's a very controversial thing, but ChatGPT has a very good ability to actually summarize very difficult concepts. So if you are learning a new thing, try ChatGPT if you have any doubts, because sometimes you don't really have anybody to ask these niche things. And yeah, that's one thing. If you are going for a data scientist route, I would really suggest you to actually brush on your basics. Um, uh, check any IIT course if you are looking forward to actually learn things in a deep level, and to practice everything out. Go for a Kaggle, a competition, or a Kaggle data set, open source data sets, and all. Practice it out on these things, and it takes a little bit of time to actually get those things and get those concepts all brushed up, but eventually you get there.
So now I would call upon the students who want to ask any question from Karsimran. Any student who would like to ask any question? Okay, Karsimran, would you like to suggest something to your juniors in the last?
Like my parting thoughts will be, be consistent, be patient, because when you are a fresher, making believe a company that you are really worth something is really hard, because there are millions of other freshers as well trying to doing the same thing, which is and you don't really have a niche kind of uh, field that you have already selected and proven yourself in. So you are really just hoping that the skills that you got from last third years that other students also have are enough to convince an interviewer in front of you that yeah, you are capable of something. And even in technical interviews are mostly like vivas or something like that, where you are not just tested on your technical knowledge, or you're also tested on how you represent that knowledge. So yeah, keep practicing, keep doing things that you love, and yeah, that's it.
Karsimran, when you joined from here in Tatras, I remember that was your internship, I think. Last
Yeah.
semester, you joined in your B.TECH's last semester, you joined Sabudh Tatras as an intern. So how you faced that problem? Because you did the B.TECH, there was no background of yours with AI or ML. Then how you competed with that environment in which you were a fresher?
I see. I got very lucky that I got an opportunity over there. But yeah, it was not just a luck, of course. I initially I got an project, in Tetras. That was kind of like which was a part of my Sabudh journey. I really put my heart and soul into it and got them some results. So and then things just keep on happening and happening, and yeah, I mean it was purely luck, but a dash of hard work as well.
So thank you so much, Karsimran, for your time. Last call for students if they want to ask any query from Karsimran, because then we will be leaving this meeting.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Right.
I wanted the question about the synonym, sir.
Can
What is the
you
Right.
basic data?
can you
Sorry, ma'am.
just speak a little bit slowly? You are going at a very fast pace.
Okay, ma'am. I am Shubham. My question is that what is the basic need of the data scientist for the beginner, and how does it help for the starting?
Sorry, didn't get
Can
the
you tell
first
me?
part. Didn't get the
I
first
say
part.
that
Sorry.
what is the basic need of the data scientist for the beginner?
Best need of a data scientist.
Yeah, so for the beginner.
For the
Be-
beginners.
best best need of a data scientist for beginners.
Yes, sir.
He wants to
Um,
ask that if he wants to become a data scientist, he is a beginner. What are the needs to learn? What are the skills to
oh,
learn
what
so
are the
that he can,
requirements?
yeah.
Acha, acha.
Yes, sir. That's exactly.
Right. So to be a data scientist, you have so data scientist is a programmer that knows statistics as well. So that's how I define a data scientist, because your day-to-day job is more like researcher, like researcher that just implements algorithms and implements ideas and test things out. So you really have to good with the basics, and you really have to have a little bit of good grip on maths as well, statistics to be exact. Um, but you can get away with having little bit of a knowledge if you are really good at programming, not too much good at maths. You can be a data engineer. So data engineers are really the persons who are really into implementing data pipelines. So you see this meeting is going on, there has to be some way of taking my picture and sharing it with the cloud, and then doing some AI processes in the background, and then sending the frames back, or doing it on the client machine as well. So these things are done by data engineers, just to implement things. If you are really good at software and not too much good at maths, you can try being a data engineer. If you are really into maths and really like, you start preparing and really like things in what you're reading, like for example maths algorithms and so on and so on. You can keep working on more of these basic sides, and get really deep into it, and then there's a path of being a data scientist.
Karsimran, I
uh,
would like to ask you that you are telling that for maths you should need to learn stats. There is any other topic also that the student should learn? Because let's say if Shubham wants to join as that, so he must be having a basic understanding of stats. Can you just give some topics of stats that he should learn?
Sure, sure, sure. Statistical tests, so for example, t-test, t-test, f-test, and so on and so on. Probability distributions, and so on and so on. Yeah, these are the very small chunk of things that you should really prepare in a very deep level. Other than, because we use these things in day-to-day basis. Other than that, you need to have a grip on calculus, and yeah, calculus and probability stats. Yeah, that's it.
So it is calculus, probability, and stats that a beginner should learn when he is going to apply for any job as a data scientist. And next, I would like to
Right.
ask you that you said that programming language. So which programming language they prefer when they take you as a data scientist? Is it Python, C++?
Python.
Or it's Python
No,
only.
Python. Python.
Okay.
Python for data scientist is Python, because all of the research papers are based on Python. So companies really expect you to have a grip on Python. But if you go into data engineering side, implementation side, you can get away with the C++, Android as well, because there are very niche categories of Android, C++, that take data engineers, data scientists, because some companies are really developing a product that requires very high speed kind of a performance thing going on in there. So yeah, there is scope for C++ and Android as well in AI.
Shubham, any other question you want to ask? Because this was very good question. Because now we are clear with two things.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, exactly, ma'am. As sir, you know that the AI is everywhere, and most of the jobs are going to the based on the AI. Are you sure that the AI is placed on the data science team? And if there is any probability to lose the job for the AI if we engage for this time?
Yeah, man, times are tough, and AI boom is just starting to get slow.
As we know
Uh,
that there are many people that have they lost their job for the AI, and can you share
yeah,
these problems?
yeah. I mean, if you're in IT field, I say there's no guarantee that by the next year things are will stay consistent. So what you have to do is just keep on updating yourself and hope that tomorrow there will be no big thing, no big changes in these techs. Yeah, but there is always like 50-50 chance that there's one new thing that comes up and replaces you. But I don't think there will be effect in software development jobs with the coming age of AI. But I don't think it will replace it, because the new tools like Copilot and things like that are not really capable of really thinking forward and producing really quality stuff. So I think there's a long way to go before they will replace any humans, but they are really proving themselves as a very good tool to provide an additional knowledge and additional sets of debugging things. Yeah, yeah, they're a really good tool, but not there yet to replace, I'd say.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Karsimran, for
sir.
your
Thank you, sir.
time and everybody else for
Uh,
joining. Thank
ma'am,
you so much,
ma'am,
Karsimran.
excuse
Hmm?
me, ma'am, ma'am, can I ask a question from Karsimran?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sure, sure,
sure,
sure.
Vidhu.
Hello, Karsimran. My name is Vidhu, and my core language is Python. Uh,
Right.
sh- should interviewer require Python or C++ more?
He just told
For
that
data
it is
scientists.
Python. If you are applying for a data scientist, it is
Ma'am,
Python
not
that he will
not
be
for data,
requiring.
ma'am, not for data scientist. I ask for SD intern, software developer, or doing DSA in Python. I'm doing DSA in Python right now.
Right. There's no kind of feeling of hesitation if you are just learning Python. Even my brother has learned Python and a little bit of JavaScript in the side, and he got an opportunity in really good companies with the Python knowledge as well. There are companies that do implement their own software in Python, because the sheer number of people that actually know it makes sure that their code base is future proof. And that's why even Python jobs, if you just learn Python, that is sufficient to be a backend engineer. um, I'd say learning just Python is not enough in these kind of scenarios, because everybody has same skill set. There's nothing that makes you different from them. So I'd suggest learn some DevOps, learn some front end, and learn a little bit amount of JavaScript as well. That should make you a little bit more coming out of crowd, I say.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you,
Okay,
every.
thank you, Karsimran.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Vidhu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Uh, Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
ma'am.
Karsimran, for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice meeting you.
Same here. So now we will be meeting in our next interview with Lena, Mehakleen, and Rhythm. They will be giving us some points if we are applying for interview at H and R block. So thanks for watching and stay tuned.